Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, everyone. This is day 12 of the Trusting Your Visions journey. And so, very beautifully, I've just finished up a session for myself, receiving from a bunch of my own guides as well. And so, I feel very ready for this beautiful practice that we will get into today. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I wanted to show you two allies that I have with me today in physical form representation, I should say. So this is celestite crystal. And this is, in a way, yes, it's a beautiful crystal, and celestite is very beneficial for this work that we're doing, and certainly has a feeling in and of itself, being a beautiful blue spirit-based crystal. However, it also represents my unicorn guides, of which I resisted when I first met them. So the story is this, and I'm just going to tell this story as we wait for anyone else to join us on the live today. And then, of course, folks who would like to join in the live afterwards, just pop your messages into the WhatsApp and I'll open up a Zoom room for us. So, celestite crystal. I walked into this little crystal shop in Mount Shasta, and there was this man who owned this very tiny shop. And it had been closed the first two times that actually I'd gone by it, hoping to go in. And then finally, this one auspicious day, we were able to go in. And I found this celestite crystal and knew I just had such a strong feeling. I still have a very strong feeling with it. And I knew that this is something I needed to pick up for myself. And so when I went to the counter, the man asked, do you want me to show you how to connect with that crystal? And I'm never going to say no to someone helping me connect. That's not going to hurt us, So it's an important message to some folks, because I think there are times where we can be like prideful about how much we know on a spiritual journey, and to say, well, I know how to connect to a crystal. I do know how to connect to a crystal. However, I was curious about what he saw in my connection to this crystal. And that really is something worthy of receiving. So I said, yes, of course. And he immediately saw like a whole team of unicorns, which is really interesting, because I had always sort of put unicorns a little bit out of my mind as not a thing that I cared that much about. And now it's actually part of the logo that I use with Emma Macaulay of Macaulay Luxury Travels when we do our story and soul retreats. The unicorn is like a part of our logo because it is the national animal of Scotland. And so I have felt very, very drawn to Scotland, and of course started to welcome in the idea of unicorn energy, instead of writing it off as something so like, I don't know, it almost felt like little girl or like immature or something to me, the unicorn energy. And now I just really don't relate to it that way. So anyways, this is celestite crystal, and it represents the unicorn guides that I am blessed to work with, and am finally now not resisting. And then also I've brought a representation of one of the power animal guides that I like to work with, which would be bison or buffalo. And so bison had come through for me really in and amongst stepping into deeper work and to opening up to how I could resource myself and live on my own when I was at the retreat center and I was looking to make my own way and yeah, do my own work in life. And so the bison and this buffalo spirit has held me and guided me in business and in abundance. And so I wanted to bring this prosperous energy to all of you today. And as well, I feel like has been a great guide for standing my ground, having some boundaries. I think Buffalo is like very, very good with that. And so these are the two guides that I wanted to bring with us to start. And so let's just take a deep breath all together and step into the realm of potential allies that might be on our journey, might be with us. So take a deep breath in and clear it. Just do a quick check-in on yourself. You can keep the breathing going, deepening your inhales and fully releasing with your exhales. And just feel out what has been going on with me today? What am I feeling? Where am I at? Where do I feel like I need a little bit more support? And allow your mind to gather that place. Allow yourself to come to a place where you say, I'd really love some extra support in this area of my life. So I have an area of my life that has now come into focus in this moment where I say, this is what I would like to receive some extra support with. I don't actually have a spirit animal or ally or guide of any kind to help me with this that I am aware of at the moment. I'm sure that they're there, but I'm not aware of them yet. I almost like felt them getting insulted by me ignoring them. So today is very much like an energetic and a visionary time, which is why I wanted to do this live. And as of next week, it will be solely in the VIP Zoom rooms that we will do these live activations. But I will be bringing different concepts forward about trusting my visions and what that has looked like as I continue to record these videos. And some of them I might share, but really the bulk of them I will be saving for the people who are actually within the Trusting Your Visions journey, or they've joined the Star All Access Pass. Okay, so I'll explain that stuff later. For now, let's be with this one area of our life that we are looking for some extra support or guidance in. So just allow yourself to focus on what that area of life might be, a certain category, a certain challenge that you might be facing. And, it is almost impossible to receive the support that we are looking for on a human level with the consistency that the spirit world can give it to us in. I do believe that we can feel abundantly and richly supported and super connected in this life. I personally feel a great level of support and connection coming in as I've set a lot of intentions to welcome that in, having felt like a bit of a independent lone wolf gal for a long time. It felt really important to me opening up OracleFest that I continue to open the doors to friends and to teachers and to colleagues and attendees as supports as well. So that has shifted, but I would say largely, if it feels like there's a gap, I'll go to the spirit realm versus complaining about or seeking out maybe more further expectations of humans. It's much actually easier to go up and receive. And then it ends up being that people just appear that you need. So what are spirit allies, first of all? Because that can be a bit of a wider category. Spirit allies would be, in my mind anyways, any energetic being that is connected to you and your life purpose and your path. And they can appear as many things. So they could appear as ancestors or as maybe a guide, a teacher, like a deity, some sort of protective figure. I have a few protective figures, elements that way that feel more like guides. And spirit allies could also be energetic in form versus like it doesn't necessarily need to be human either. And then there are animal guides as well, which I would put almost into a separate category. Animal guides are a very important aspect to our support system spiritually. And generally, animal guides, I often feel we're meant to take on the lessons from, we're meant to become more like or allow ourselves to show those qualities. When I needed to show the bison qualities in my life, I really needed to feel robust and resolute and sturdy and able to provide and, confident. And also I needed to feel a little larger. Like I needed to feel bigger in general in life, to hold bigger amounts of space and to trust myself in that. And so it's what I needed at the time. And yet still, bison will be there to guide me, especially if I slip a little bit back from that awareness. And I believe that we move through different animal guide teachers as we go based on what we are needing. So the current animal I've been working with has been flamingo. But I have also moved with turtle and tiger, and of course, bison. I feel like I'm missing one, but maybe not. maybe not. Um, so I think we go through phases basically where, and also I would say, yeah, so in OracleFest, we have an animal that we work with because they showed up very early on in the OracleFest journey. But I have also been feeling like more and more are going to get added to that. And so Fox was the first animal that was with me for OracleFest. And so that helps me with a specific area of my life. For example, you may have an animal teacher or animal guide that is for a particular area, for a particular phase. And then you have some that are almost more of your master animal teachers that walk with you throughout your life. I don't think turtle or tiger or bison will ever leave me, for example. And so they will communicate, any of these allies and guides will communicate through any way that you receive intuition. So you will get like images in your mind. You might see synchronicities. For example, this reading that I just had from lovely Carrie Ann of OracleFest. So if anyone is looking for a beautiful reading and you don't want to come see me for some reason, I highly recommend Carrie Ann. And any of our OracleFest speakers. There are many that actually help with this idea of connecting you to your guides as well. And the big OracleFest online will absolutely connect you more deeply to your guides. There's no way I think that you can attend OracleFest online and not have like an extreme activation, truly, and deep connections with your guides. And what else? So synchronicities. What I was saying was I just received a reading that owl came through, and I've been seeing owls so much, and also spiders came through, and I've been seeing spiders so much the last few months. So it's no surprise. It's like almost very confirming whatever direction, I find out now that they're guiding me specifically, but I've known to keep an eye out for them because I've noticed them quite a lot. And so you might have the same thing happen for yourself. You might also see these guides in dreams. Some people almost exclusively will see a guide in a dream and have difficulty connecting to them otherwise. So you might find that as well. And you also just might find like an emotional shift and feel it inside your mind's eye in a way, almost feeling like you are connecting or communicating with someone who is beyond, because that is what is often happening. And basically your guides are going to meet you in your language. So some people also connect to their guides through writing, for example, like you might write with your non-dominant hand, right? And as you do that, you disconnect from the analysis of I'm writing a list, da-di-da-di-da. It's a more fluid place in your mind. They might connect with you through art or similar things. And I want to reassure you that if you've ever received a message that felt intimidating, I would say that would be like the worst of it. I don't think that your guides are looking to scare or overwhelm you, but if they send a warning, we might sometimes react with discomfort or unsettledness, but I wouldn't say it's going to put you into a fear zone. And if it's that, I would actually suggest that perhaps you ask whether that message was meant for your highest good. And if it wasn't, just be like, goodbye, don't need that, thank you. And basically, I often find too that my guides are speaking to me in symbols, but they are very supportive, but they don't always explain everything. So if you're going in looking for like a specific how-to and a map, I got to tell you, they don't always give you that, So I have an example, which is that my grandmother on my Scottish side will often show up with a cross-stitching hoop and show me like an image or a very clear specific symbol. It's not super helpful because, it is. But when you're in the vision, you're sort of like, could you please elaborate? And she just really trusts that I'm going to figure it out. And she knows that I know what I'm doing. And so, it's like she doesn't want to waste time on that. And it's better that we try to understand things here on Earth and from a ground level. And she continues to teach me that. So I jokingly say it's not that helpful, but really it has been mega helpful, because if I choose to face the reality of what that symbol is showing me, that she's shown me in her cross stitching, I remarkably will be like, wow, that was really on point. Needlepoint. It was on needlepoint. That's hilarious for any crafting junkies. That's a funny joke. And basically, I think there's no like wrong guide who can show up. I have clients sometimes who have really like non-human figures or beings show up, and they are sort of like, does that count? Like, of course it counts, and it's meant for you, right? So I have a client who sees these like triangle alien type beings, and they're like, don't think that exists. And I said, of course it exists. You obviously felt connected to them. And so they have some resonance for you. And it's then up to you, and it's up to all of us to continue communicating and exploring whatever that could mean. So, what I will guide you to do is a bit of a guided journey. So, again, pull into focus what is the area of life that you are looking for deeper support in. And so, I didn't bring the drum downstairs today. What I actually felt that we might do is tap gently if we would like a rhythm, and otherwise be in slow breath and connect deeply in this way. So that way, if someone wants to put on a drumming track or something like that, you can do that and also play my voice if you wish. So just close down your eyes whenever you're ready, right? Get settled. I need to get settled myself. Close down your eyes. And if you're comfortable, you can place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Invite in a slow breath, a deepening, a slowing down, a gently melting and folding into this moment, into yourself, into your mind's eye, your heart's awareness, and your gut instincts and impressions. These natural parts of your body sending you sensations. So just listen to any body sensations calling your attention now. Be present with your body and let it know that you are listening, and you will continue to listen. And we enter a natural landscape. Whatever natural landscape appears before you is correct for you. So it might be a path or a forest, a beach or a mountain, a jungle, cliff, a meadow, anything that shows up. So you're in a natural landscape. Allow yourself to just explore this nature scene. Notice the details. What is the light like? What is the air like? What is it you're hearing, seeing, feeling, and sensing? Hold in your intentions that you are seeking out a guide to support you with that specific area of your life that you are welcoming more support in. And then when you feel settled in this space, in a natural landscape, with this focus of where you'd like to receive support in mind, then call in your ally for that. So ask Spirit, the universe, the space, ask yourself, who is walking with me right now? What guide or animal wishes to support me in this next chapter? And then let this ally appear naturally. Let them appear to you and confirm, are you my ally for whatever it is you're asking about? Allow you some time to do that now. could be a variety of types of beings. So it could be a creature, an animal, some mythic being, some deity, god or goddess, or similar angelic being, or a human guide, an ancestor, someone you might have known, even someone you haven't known. And it could also be a color or energy or light being, star nation being, or a symbol, or maybe even a plant or an object or a tree or a feeling. And whatever it is welcome. And if it feels like you need more time, allow yourself more time to gather information about who or what this ally is for you with this specific area of your life. So just allow this ally to reveal themselves and explain themselves in some kind of way to you. So you might be, what do they look like? What kind of vibe do they give off? What is their energy like to me? And how do you feel being near them? How do you feel being near them? Beautiful. And then when you're ready, please ask, what message do you have for me? Or what is it that you are helping me with on my path? What message do you have, or what are you helping me with? Beautiful. You might ask any further questions or clarity that you might need. And then when you're ready, ask to receive a gift, some sort of symbol, an object or a word, a phrase or movement or maybe color or something like that. Ask to receive some symbolic gift. Perhaps this will be helpful to you. Some gift from this ally that he's just connected with. Make sure you receive and take that gift, put it in a pocket or adorn it on you in some kind of way, even in your mind's eye, even now. So just allow yourself to receive a gift from this ally. Beautiful. Okay, and just thank this ally, thank them for being here, for supporting you. Allow them to step back into this nature landscape and scene at which they appeared to you, ensuring that you have that gift, you know what it means, you've put it on your person somewhere within you, and then begin to step back. Return to your breath, to the room and the sounds around you, and to your body and the body sensations that you are experiencing. Gently, slowly come back to your awareness, but keeping your eyes closed. Allow yourself one moment to place this item that you brought from the non-ordinary realm into your body, somewhere physically. This is the process of bringing gifts from the non-ordinary realm back to this realm for our highest benefit. And so allow yourself to hold or to don or um, bring out this gift. and then placing it wherever it is in or on your body that it wishes to go in the here and now. And then when you're ready, you can slowly flutter your eyes open, coming back to your full awareness, feeling so much support, feeling energized and connected to this new ally and ready to take your next steps. So, welcome back, any of you who were with us during that whole journey. And of course, if you are joining now and you were like, I just caught into the tail end of this, what the heck is happening? You can go back and look at this video. I will have it up on the OracleFest YouTube. And I'll probably share it over on Heart's Frontier page too, actually. Just there's a lot of people over on that channel, and I feel like they want this as well. So if you're on Heart's Frontier, hi, welcome. Okay, so you can share in the chat in the comments below any information about your guide that you wish to share, or a message that you received, any type of clarity that you got from doing this journey, or what kind of sensations you feel. I also really enjoyed guiding you through that, because not always am I able to fully get what I need out of a time where I'm guiding, but this time I really was. And I can also go and ask for further, questions and clarity later on. So can you. Now that you have created this connection, it ought to be actually a lot easier to trust your visions. The reason being, when we feel like we're supported, it does feel like someone's in our corner, even if that is like a being. Like if you saw a hawk and the hawk is with you, you feel a bit more supported and encouraged on your journey in sort of it's a difficult to describe way. It really is an energetic feeling of feeling supported. And so would love to know what types of things you have learned from this, what types of things you might be taking away. And if you are looking for some further interpretation on your animal guides or allies or what you just received, I would highly recommend you jump into the Trusting Your Visions journey, and then you have access to asking me questions. We can do our live Q&A times, answering things. We're going to do live Q&A time after the live tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm also coming forth. We're going to talk about archetypes and explorations with archetypes. So again, this is all about how can we connect to our visions and trust ourselves more deeply. And it really feels to me like when we feel more supported by the spirit world, we are going to act upon our spiritual visions and missions that much more closely. So you might call in a guide for various different parts of your life. You might seek overall like a council of guides, and you might continue to do this work and deepen in this work of creating connections. This could simply be a starting place or a reignition place, a reminder. Sometimes we need these reminders. I was reminded of that in my previous session I did before joining here, because there are things that I know, but when you hear it from someone, it really does help cement and solidify things. And so just to keep in mind, right, that you are going to have different types of guides. There are some guides that I have which are a lot more stern, and they want to help with protection and responsibility and allowing me to step up into the being I'm meant to be, with that feeling of I am responsible for this. And I find them extremely helpful. I think because my father's quite a stoic character, I quite enjoy these energies. You might also have more shadowy figures that allow you to witness deeper parts of your healing, or perhaps are meant to stay mysterious and invite you to be more comfortable with unknowns in your life. You might have very familiar figures and not even know where they came from. They could be ancestral. They could also be past life ancestral lineage and support that way. You might have very much like light essence or etheric guides, and they would be much more like encouraging and reassuring, right? If you have a very, I would say I've had children or youthful sort of guides as well, playful guides, and they tend to help me with play and creativity and cultivating joy. So there are lots of different types of personalities and different ways that we need support as well. So I would encourage you to expand your circle, your counsel, and your connections as often, as much as you feel you need, in order to feel like you can get out of your way and just say yes to all these visions and missions that are wanting to make their way through you. And I tend to try to listen more inward than outward. So sometimes we sense a connection and then we're constantly on the lookout for proof, right? But sometimes we're the ones who make the proof, and we are the ones who bring things to manifestation, allow them to happen. And so this internal shift, this inward shift really is quite valuable. And I hope that throughout the rest of this 6 weeks together, you're able to sense just how important those inner energy shifts are to allowing yourself to develop that deeper self-trust. This to me is where it comes from. I don't believe that trusting your visions is about seeing proof of them the next day. I just don't believe that that has to be the case. And I do think that's where a lot of people can get caught up when they're experiencing difficulties in their manifesting practice. Usually there's disconnects to their reality and how they feel about their reality. So at least feeling supported and connected inwardly is allowing a reality where you are easily supported and connected. You see what I mean? So there will be further journaling prompts. You can take notes on the guide. So if you're part of the Trusting Your Visions journey already, then go ahead and look at your week 1 and 2 guide. I sent it out as like week 1 and 2, just so that you can see it all at once. And by the end, you're going to have all 6 weeks in one guide. So, you can always delete the initial ones at the end. But I thought it's kind of nice to see as it builds. And so tomorrow we will be doing archetype-based explorations. I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes up in this session, and also seeing how it is I'm going to teach this session over a YouTube, because often I used to teach archetype exploration over a course of a couple months. So it is really beautiful and very deep work. I have absolutely a lot of faith that by connecting to all these different areas of understanding, you will be able to get out of your way and trust your visions, trust your intuition. Now, this is our container getting closed here for today's Spirit Guides and Allies session. I'll be sending this out to anyone in the Trusting Your Visions journey, our smaller email list of folks who are signed up for Star All Access or Trusting Your Visions. You'll receive this. I would love if you could even just click reply or write a comment and let me know what it was your experience was, and allow ourselves to receive a bit more support. It's so easy to feel alone or on your own in this spiritual journey. And I think what I am hoping to create with OracleFest is a feeling like you can still be on your own spiritual journey. You are still absolutely spiritually independent and sovereign. You are also connected. And there are a whole bunch of like-minded people who are out there looking to be a part of other people's journeys as well. I would love to be a part of your journey if you would allow me in some kind of way. And in this way, I can at least encourage you and show you some excitement on what it is you are receiving. So another thing which is very exciting is that we have the super early bird launch of the big OracleFest online. So this is our 4-day event together online, January 30th to February 2nd. If you'd like the replays, because you're like, I'm not going to be able to go to all 4 days, highly recommend you get in now on this super early bird price, because this is the cheapest it's going to be all year leading up to it. So it's $288 for 4 full days, 44 speakers. There's going to be panel discussions. There's going to be live readings. There's going to be reflection time. So many spiritual activations. There's going to be sound healing. There's going to be ceremony. There's going to be journeying. There's going to be probably a lot of like predictions or divinations, because it's a whole bunch of oracles gathering. So, and there'll be more that I can't even think of right now. The Tree of Wisdom, the Fire of the Phoenix. We'll have our mystical marketplace and our luminary library. And I'm really excited for you to all be there and to gather once more. We had 125 people at last year's big OracleFest online, and it was so incredible. I can't wait to welcome in more. I actually feel like we could double that and have at least 250 people this year. That would be amazing. Or 500. We could even, quadruple it. That's really what I felt when we were starting into this year, is I feel like we could quadruple the amount of people who are all coming together in support of spiritual journeys and of the inner oracle, really, and of heralding that. I think we're in a time now where we know that this has value. And so to commit to that path and to show up with each other and to allow ourselves to receive these activations, and then to check in with all of these replays all year, I think is going to be mega, 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 mega activating, empowering. I think it's going to feel connective and deep and transformative. I have felt absolutely radically transformed from connecting to these OracleFest luminary speakers and of showing up for these events as the year has gone on. But the big OracleFest online is coming up end of January. So we'd love to see you there. It's $288 for the super early bird price. You can go to oraclefest.com for that. And that ends in 4 days. So it ends on the 24th on Monday. So now's the time. Sometime this weekend, go ahead and grab that. I would love if everyone who was there last year who wants to join again gets that price. I would be very happy. That would make me very happy to know that everyone is getting like the discounted, the most discounted potential. So I'll be reaching out to anyone who joined us last year and letting you know, making sure that you know that this ticket sale is going on now. So hope to see you there and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.